Hello and welcome to anybody that's trickling in to this webinar. We're really pleased that you're here. We're going to take 1 minute just to welcome everybody into the webinar. And so for those of you who are joining us today, you have joined the webinar about the U-Train, the upcoming U-Train, which we're super excited to share all of the details with you about that. But we're just going to give it about 1 more minute so our administrator can let everybody in, whoever may be here, and then we'll get started. So for those of you who have already arrived to this webinar, you can expect details about how the U-Train goes. And we're also going to be speaking with a student, one of our wonderful students, who was a former U-Trainer from last year. So you'll be hearing from the horse's mouth what happens at the U-Train. So thank you for being here. And we can get started in about 15 more seconds or so, because we're very mindful of your time. So my name's Melissa Giorgio, and I will be the host of this session, but we'll mostly be hearing from our lovely U-Train. Do I call you a coordinator, Jasmine? Would you say that? Okay, so our coordinator, Jasmine, and she's going to be sharing lots of information with us. And I wonder if Daniel has arrived to this session yet. I can't see him at the moment, but we'll get to Daniel in some moments. So we might as well just get started. Again, thank you for being here. You've tuned into the U-Train 2025 webinar. And we're just going to start straight away. For those of you who may not be familiar with the U-Train, we're going to talk with Jasmine, who's going to explain what the U-Train is all about, why it's unique, and how does it compare to other student programs. So, hi Jasmine, how are you today?
Hi, thank you. I'm very good.
Thanks for being here and thanks for taking the time to explain the U-Train to our students. Go ahead, tell us all about it.
Perfect. Thank you to everyone who's here and who's obviously interested in the U-Train 2025. So you might have heard of the U-Train last year. Great news, it's happening again this year between TU Darmstadt and TU Graz. So the U-Train is a blended intensive program. So it's a summer school taking place at the end of August and the beginning of September between TU Darmstadt and Graz. There will be academic program on the topics of entrepreneurship, sustainability, and multiculturalism this year. So you will be receiving some credits for the course if you participate, but there will also be non-academic activities. So there's going to be interactive workshops, networking events, cultural excursions. So there should be something in there for everyone. Blended intensive program means that there is going to be a virtual phase. So there's going to be some courses, lectures to prepare you on the topics. So this is going to take place from August 18 to 22. Then there's going to be a train ride from your home universities to TU Darmstadt, physical mobility there, a joint train ride to Graz, and then some more activities in Graz. And the special thing really is that there's a train involved. So you will be getting on the train, you will be going to Darmstadt, and you're going to be meeting a lot of students from the other Unite universities.
That sounds fantastic. Okay, so you said that it was a blended program. So let's just clarify what exactly that means. The students will have a responsibility to turn up in person, but also there's some courses online. Will those courses happen before the train ride, after? How does it go?
So the blended part means that you'll be having 1 week of online lectures. So there's going to be some essentials for entrepreneurs. There's going to be some introductory lectures. Then there's going to be the train ride to Darmstadt and Graz afterwards, where you will be having the on-site lectures. So there's going to be some mobility before, some courses before, and then on-site. The majority of the program is actually going to be happening on-site. There are just some courses happening before the actual mobility.
Right, fantastic. So students will have to turn up beforehand, then they'll get on the train and have all the in-person. Now, you mentioned before something about credits. Now, of course, this is to do with each university's way of issuing credits. So it's not a promise of the credits. The student would have to investigate that with their own university. But how many credits are we talking? Is it a whole course? So
It's 3 credits that you would be getting. Of course, as you said, you would need to check with your home university that it's accredited also for your study program. But if it fits in the study program, you will be getting 3 credits from us. So there's going to be a course certificate in the end. And so it's a course.
sounds really cool. Okay, so you've talked about the mechanics of the course and how it goes, but what's in it for the successful applicants? What do they get? What's in it for me?
They will be getting a free Interrail ticket. So as I said, there is a train ride involved. So you need to go from your home university to TU Darmstadt, and you can do so yourself. So last year, the students from the universities got together. So they had a joint train ride from Barcelona, from Grenoble, from Aalto, for instance. They all get together at TU Darmstadt. So this is involved. All the social programs involved. So there's going to be some social activities in Darmstadt for you to get to know each other, to get to know the 2 different cities. There might also be some Austrian cooking class here. There's going to be there's a welcome dinner in Darmstadt and also some program around. And for everything that is not included, you will also be getting an Erasmus Plus scholarship. So there is some money also involved because you need to book the accommodation in Graz and TU Darmstadt yourself, but you will get some funding to cover those costs.
Okay, fabulous. Do you know about last year? What happened with the students from Aalto? How did they get so far? Did they take, did they not take an aeroplane? Because the obvious thing would be that Aalto students, for example, would need to take a plane.
Yeah, as far as I know, they really made the trip. So they really took a long time to arrive in Barcelona. So last year it was between Barcelona and Grenoble. But yeah, they really did. I mean,
It's possible.
yeah, it is possible. It might take a little longer. With the Interrail ticket, the good thing is that you will be getting, depending on how far your university is away, a certain number of days that you can use traveling. So the further you're away, the more days you will be getting. But this also means that you have some days in between that you can simply spend along the way. So you don't have to go from Darmstadt, from Aalto, for instance, or from Barcelona directly to Darmstadt, but you can also spend a couple of days in between in some cities that you want to explore if you're interested.
Ah, super cool. I mean, it sounds fantastic, and I only wish that I had access to such programs when I was at university. So let's get on to the students. Now, I know we have one of our former U trainers here today. Daniel, have you arrived to the webinar yet? Okay, it doesn't look like Daniel's here. Karin, I'm not sure whether you could just chime in very quickly.
Oh yes, I can do that. And Daniel, he is connecting.
Okay, fabulous.
I
Okay,
think
so
he will be on the video very soon.
okay, excellent. Well, before Daniel comes, Jasmine, I think you said that the applications are open already. Is that right?
Yes. So the
Yes.
applications already started last week on Friday, but they
Okay.
will be open until April 7th. So there's still some time to apply, plenty of time
Yeah.
to apply. We will be sharing the details, I think, afterwards.
Yeah. We will, and
Yes.
so just stay until the end, everybody. 10 more minutes to go, and then you'll get a direct link to the sign up form, I guess. But actually, maybe while we're here, could you let people know what sort of things are required from the application? Like, do you have to make a video, or do you have to write an essay? What sort of things will the students have to do to apply for this program or course?
So basically, you will be applying via Meta Campus. So that's the Unite Moodle platform where also courses take place. There's going to be an application form. You just fill in your personal details, and we have some questions there basically asking you about your motivation, about your background with the topic. So really want to know why we should take you on the train. Because of course, as I said, there's 30 students going from being able to participate in the U-Train, which means it's only 3 students from each university. So we really want to know why we should be taking you on board. So but you don't have to have background in entrepreneurship, for instance. So that is not, it's not mandatory, but you should explain why you want to be there and really have a strong interest in the topics.
Fair enough. Totally understand that. Elisa, did you have your hand up because you wanted to chime in with some really important information, or were you just frantically pressing a few buttons?
Yes, that's more that I was pressing everything. I was trying to answer questions in the chat, but it doesn't seem to work. There was a question if we would give some information about local accommodation. Yes, of course, you will receive some tips and tricks about how to get an accommodation, and everything is very well organized.
Yes, okay, that's a really good question. Thanks to the person who asked that. And the person you just heard from was last year's coordinator, Elisa, who has taken everything into consideration and organized things so well. So yeah, not only are you well looked after with the course, but our wonderful coordinator, Jasmine, this year and last year, Elisa, really covers everything with, tips and tricks for accommodation, food, and all of that. So you can expect to be well looked after. Right, with only a few more minutes to go, I'm wondering if Daniel is now in the room and available.
Yes, hi.
Fabulous. Hi, Daniel. Thank you so much for joining us. I heard that you're coming straight from a class, so this is real commitment. I'm so glad that you've made it here to speak to our participants about what to expect from the U-Train. So you were a passenger on last year's U-Train. Yes,
exactly.
you live to tell the story. So how about, could you share with the people who are watching about your most eye-opening part of the experience or the most unexpected part of the experience for you as a student?
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be here and to share my experiences because the U-Train is really worth giving it a try and going for it. Concerning your question, I would say the most eye-opening thing for me was the international collaboration, really. For me as a AR technician, I have to admit, I was actually expecting a little more technical elements, but really the collaboration, international setting, and getting in touch with so many people from different professions was the most interesting thing for me. How to collaborate in that international setting was just an amazing insight for me. So
yeah, there's nothing like the opportunity for impromptu networking, I guess, that just comes naturally from gathering all of these people from all over Europe. So yeah, super cool. How about like academically and career-wise? Would you say that participating in the course impacted you academically or career-wise, and how?
Career-wise, I would say definitely. Before, as I mentioned, I was very much into technical disciplines, too much probably a little bit, I have to admit. But yeah, going out there, getting different perspectives, getting different insights from not only the lecturers but also the participants, as I mentioned before, really opened the eyes for me how Europe's positioning is, and as the U-Train and the Unite program or Alliance in general is all about Europe basically. It really gave me the ambition to, how should I say, adapt my education a little bit so I can contribute in the future to probably a better Europe. And the way I want to contribute is really, was impacted by the U-Train, as it showed me that the overall system is more or less very interconnected, and you cannot only try to improve things for all people by going for one small thing, but targeting the overall system and how everything works together is so much more or so much important also compared to other fields that it really made me think about my education and career. So it's somewhat a link, I would say, actually, between education and career-wise impact on myself. But yeah, I changed some courses in my curriculum because of this to account for this, actually. And academically also the U-Train itself, I mean, the lecturers and the speakers were top. That was really perfect. And so academically it was also very, very interesting for me.
Oh, thanks so much for sharing those insights. And it's really nice to hear also that it had that impact on you, that you wanted to then, you know, tweak parts of your program because of the insights you gained on the trip. So, yeah, you can't get much of a, you know, better ambassador for the U-Train than you, it seems, Daniel. Okay, finally, before we get to the nitty-gritty of how to apply and all the rest of that, if you had to describe the U-Train in 3 words, what would you say?
Immersive, very engaging and eye-opening.
Super cool. Immersive, engaging, eye-opening. Well, can't ask for more than that. So thank you so much for being here, Daniel. I really appreciate you taking the time to share with our participants about the good side of the U-Train. And now I'm going to take the question back to Jasmine. Actually, but before we proceed, are there any questions in the chat that we need to, maybe not, because we're covering everything so carefully? Fabulous. Okay, so Jasmine, back to you. Now, you talked a little bit before about the applications, and I don't know whether I clarified with you what type of students are you looking for. Oh yeah, you said that they don't necessarily need to be entrepreneurs, but you know, perhaps an entrepreneurial mindset or something like that. And any other advice you'd give to anybody applying for the U-Train?
So as I said, the background is we want to see that you're interested in the topic. Also for the U-Train 2025, we want to make sure that new students who have not been involved with Unite that much get a chance. So if you have not been involved, have not been taken advantage of any Unite offers so far, it's actually a plus, because we want to also give new students the chance to get on board.
Yeah.
With the exception of 2 alumni of the 2024 train. So we want to have 2 students from last year reapplying again, so they can also act a bit as a peer-to-peer support.
Okay.
So we strongly encourage students to do that. And other than that, yeah, especially if you always have been interested in going abroad but haven't had the time during the semester, a summer school is a really good chance because you can do it during the summer holidays. And you don't have to, miss out on courses that you would normally need to do during the semester. So,
yeah, a lot of pros to getting on board the U-Train. Okay, so finally, how should students apply if they're here and they have no idea where to go? You mentioned Meta Campus before, but could we put the link there, and can you also verbalize it?
I put it in the chat, so it should be in the chat right now. So just go to the Agora website. So it's basically the catalog for students where also a lot of other offers are available. On this page, you can again find all the details about the course, and then you just click on that one. On Meta Campus, you have to sign in with your university credentials. So we already know that you're a student at your university, and then you apply there. So there's an application form there that you just have to complete until April 7th. And all the information are there. There's also more information on the detailed program, for instance. So there's even more details on the website that we haven't gone through yet. So there's already a preliminary program of the modules that are going to be happening, and all of that is on Meta Campus.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody who has turned up. But before you go, one last thing. We'd just like you to quickly fill out this poll or this quiz. 3 questions about your feelings about this webinar, just so we can have some feedback and make it better next time. And in fact, this afternoon.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to all the speakers here. Fabulous. And I see you're already starting to fill in the small survey, and we very much appreciate it for this quick feedback.
Just a second. I think nobody can see the chat apart from us. And I think, I'm not sure if we can just put the information in the chat. We can send out the information about the applications to all registered participants afterwards. And as I said, if you don't have this, you just have a look for the catalog for students for on Unite, and there you can also find the course. So if you have not registered to the webinar, you can just look it up there.
Oh, too bad that we can't see, or that everybody can't see the questions. Yes, but the catalogue for students, it's under courses. Yeah, on page 2. So have a look for UTrain, or just Google UTrain Unite, and you'll probably see that catalogue entry. So of all the things that you could have been doing in this past 20 minutes in your life, you decided to turn up here. We really want to thank you again for showing up, and thank you to our student, Daniel. I wonder if you're going to be applying as one of the alumni. Who knows? Let's see. We might see you on the UTrain. And to those of you who may apply within the next couple of weeks, good luck to you. Thanks, everybody.